Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're going to get our show started in just a couple of seconds here. I want to remind everybody, if you could just share this broadcast, we would greatly appreciate it because it would help us get more views and make the show a lot more exciting for live interaction. So please, don't forget to share the broadcast. We also appreciate all of your likes and comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and get ready for Spit The Wit. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this show that was entirely produced and developed by the people sitting in front of you. Jessy Meadows and Frankie Almost. Brought to you in part by Rolling Hills Productions. Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Spit The Wit. Jessy, if you would be so kind, would you please tell us what today's show's about?
Well, it's St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hope you have a fun, safe night. We have Matthew Red MacLean on as a guest, and he's Irish, so, you know, it kind of works out.
And now, here is your host, Frankie Almost.
Thank you. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. We do have a leprechaun in the building right now. A red-headed leprechaun. Although they're supposed to be short, and I think he's taller than me by like 4 inches or something. Anyway, so off to another great start here on Facebook. They wouldn't let me upload this video or go live because of some tag that I had in the thing and said, you do not have permission to add this tag. And I'm like, every day it's like another demerit for me for no reason. So, anyway, hi. Lo and behold, my favorite saying, we're here. And we have Red Matthew MacLean with us. How are you doing, Red? Good to see you, sir.
I'm totally offended, and my lawyers will hear about this racism that is being brought towards me.
What, you mean because we have a ginger here on St. Patty's Day?
Yeah. I'm feeling triggered. I need an adult in a safe space.
Listen, we had the green shirts. You barely have one, and we needed a red beard to go with it.
I've got all of the pollen that's laying around Vegas as my
I hear it.
Like,
you sound very lovely.
Right?
As a matter of fact, I'm suffering from that myself. When I woke up this morning, I had to literally pry my eyes open with my fingers because they were glued shut. It's awful here in Vegas right now.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, the only thing that is good, well, for me anyway, because I like it when it's hot, but it's been like 100, almost 100 degrees lately.
Oh my God,
like
it's killing me.
Yeah, but imagine how it's going to be in July.
Oh, I love it, man. I live for it.
140. And
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Red, tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
I'm Red, and I like long walks on the beach and pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
Oh, wow. Wow. Hey, we should turn this into a dating show. That'd be
right?
funny.
That would be amazing.
Like, we have a bachelor here in the studio today.
Still wouldn't get any hits off of it, but,
yeah.
you know.
All of about 6.
If that.
Yeah. And they're all guys.
Tennessee.
People that you already know.
Howie.
Yeah. Jeremy Flores.
That'd be 3 of the hits alone would be Jeremy.
So Red is a karaoke host here in Vegas, among other things. I don't want to pigeonhole you and call you that because I hate when people are like, "Hey, here's Frankie Almost. You know what he does? He does karaoke." It's like he takes out the garbage. It's such a lovely thing. But yeah, so tell us where your show's at, Red, and what.
I am currently over at East String Bar and Grill on Sunset and Sunset.
Yeah,
because it makes perfect sense. Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays from 9 to 3, except for Sundays we have open mic comedy with Devin Sheffield from 9 to 11, and I start after that if it ever makes it to 11, but
yeah,
that's a rarity.
So tell us about your karaoke show. How big is your room? What does it entail?
Our room's probably one of the best in town, simply for the fact that it is completely separate from the bar area, so there's no smoking, and the gamblers don't have to deal with us, and we don't have to deal with them, and all the heavy drinkers, and pretty big, decent-sized room. It used to be an actual like restaurant in there, and so very big stage.
Now, do they serve food during your karaoke show?
Partly.
Partly?
My nights, the kitchen closes at about 10, so try to get there right when karaoke starts, and because they'll start cleaning up about 9:30. So
yeah. In my opinion, and this has no reflection on Red. This is just my own opinion. I think a lot of I know that people save money by not paying staff later on at night, but I think it's a huge mistake for places to not have their kitchen open in a bar, because when people get drunk, it's typically around 1 or 2 that they start getting really freaking hungry, and they're gonna leave your bar, and they're gonna go to Burger King, and then they won't come back. It's not a wise decision.
They'll go to another bar that has food, or they'll go eat and go home, and you're losing out on a lot of money off of that.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing that I've been dealing with myself with karaoke, because I moonlight and do it from time to time, is that a lot of bars are trying to underpay karaoke people, and oh my God, is that the biggest mistake you could ever make? Because yes, karaoke for the most part is a cheap crowd, but it's a big crowd. So you do have people that are prima donnas that come there and drink nothing but water and take up space, but people like to go to a bar that's busy. And if you're not, catering to those people, then you're not going to gain the people that are going to come in there with large parties and stuff like that, because they're going to be like, oh, this place is dead, and they're going to go on to the next. And the thing about the underpaying is that what people don't realize, I mean, an establishment like Red's, they provide the music and everything like that, so that's cool. But whenever they're hiring like an independent guy, like say me, and I'm bringing like a rig and everything like that, they don't know all the things that entail just to get like a
one song. What one song?
Number one, you've got BMI and ASCAP up your butt trying to freaking collect all this money for royalties, which I don't blame the artists. I don't blame BMI and ASCAP. There is a bunch of freeloaders out there getting free entertainment off of music that took blood, sweat, and tears to make and stuff like that. So I definitely don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with owners of bars and things not realizing what all it entails. Number one, in a situation like me, I've got $3,500 worth of equipment that I paid for that I'm lugging around that weighs 500 pounds. I gotta set it up and break it down. And they're like, how about $75? And I'm like, no, that's not paying the bills. I don't know. I mean, I'm wasting $20 in gas to get to a place. Yeah, so. But I don't know how that works out for you. For me, like when I was at Double Shots, it was fine if they wanted to underpay me a little, because they were providing all the music. They were paying for all the royalties and everything like that. So everything was never on my head. And so God bless Double Shots, man. That place was a freaking rock solid foundation, man. And I wish it was still alive. But yeah. So, and that's just a little insight of what grinds our gears about.
We could spend 3 episodes of this talking
about karaoke. Not to mention patrons, all the things that we'll probably delve into that a little later, but I don't want to start this whole thing off on a negative thing.
Rant,
yeah, we've got to bring that Irish luck and talk about good things. Tell us about some of your good nights at your place. I mean, aside from you like getting laid, like out in the parking lot or whatever.
I'm a virgin. I have no clue what you speak of, sir. So. There are some great nights. The one thing that I really love about Eastering as opposed to just Double Shots or whatever is most of our especially our regulars are very talented, and it's not that ear butchering cat dying sounds that you would expect from it. I mean, we get a few of those, of course, and I would never judge or damn any of them, but a lot of our clientele are very talented and wide range of genres, and from country to screamo to rap,
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to. And then it's never a dull night.
Yeah.
Even on a dull night, it's never a dull night.
Well, yeah.
There's always something happening, and
Vegas is kind of that way.
Right.
Who is it? Daniel Murray, who we're going to have on the show here pretty soon.
Oh, sweet.
I was talking to his brother, and I apologize, Dan and your brother. I don't remember his brother's name because I met him in, like, kind of just...
Passing.
Not really passing, because we did have a conversation, but it was one of those things. The amount of
people we meet on a daily basis.
So, anyway, this was Dan's brother that was telling me, that he... I've totally lost my train of thought. What the hell were we talking about?
That it's never a dull night in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay. Thank you. So, this is the only town in the world that I know of that, like, you can just, like, end up in, like, the weirdest situation. Like, back in the late 90s, I was out. This was back when you were like 3. I was out freaking drinking and partying and stuff, you know, and freaking I went out that night at probably about midnight because in Vegas, party doesn't start until around midnight. So I'm like sitting there doing my hair and all this crap, and I finally like get to a place, and I'm just having a regular Wednesday night, and next thing I know, I'm in a freaking crystal room of Club Paradise, back strip club VIP thing with Dennis Rodman and him buying me freaking lap dances and giving me drinks. Crazy.
That is how a night in Vegas can work.
It's so crazy, dude. It's so crazy. So I know back when you were doing karaoke over at Double Shots, you were singing or not singing, but like rapping, doing stuff like "Look at Me Now" and "Rap God" and stuff. Have you evolved and gone on to other things?
Unfortunately, we don't have all that many selections when it comes to the rap, and especially the fast rap. I do like our system over at Eastring. I'm able to speed that up, so I've kind of evolved it in that sense, and I now do them faster. And so I'll hear it regular, or somebody will want to do one, and it'll be the regular speed, and I'll just be like, oh my god, like sounds like a turtle. I have been trying to work more on my actual singing and like getting better at that, because that definitely needed work. But
the thing about it is, dude, you're gonna find, take it from a freaking old goat. I'm still the Purple Rain guy.
Right.
I mean, it's freaking 400 years ago that I was the Purple Rain guy, and I'm still the Purple Rain guy.
You don't ever do those ones hardly ever.
Yeah,
I
don't like doing
Look at Me
Purple
Now
Rain
on a regular basis. I've kind of weaned off of Rap God just because it's a longer song and you tend to lose the interest halfway through before you even get to the good parts. So I'll do it now lately, and especially if I'm drunk off my I'll sit there and completely butcher it, and I'm just like, wow, this is a song I can do in my sleep, but I still do those songs, and so it's like I'll never get away from those, whereas
I've started, people still demand that I do Purple Rain, and it's like I don't have a problem with the song. I love the song. It's my favorite song. Not my favorite in the entire world or anything, but it's one of my favorite Prince songs, as it is everybody else's. But it's not vocally, it's not challenging, and it's not fun to do. It's just like a da 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 da. That's 2 notes that I'm singing, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. So, but people will like kick me down $20 or $40 and like make me sing it. I got freaking paid $100 one time to sing it in a freaking casino while I was walking through, because somebody had told somebody that I was the dude that sing Purple Rain, and I was like, I'm not singing it here. And he's like, I got $40, and I was like, no, dude. I'm me and my chick, and we're out, and he's like, I got $100, and I looked at my girlfriend at the time, and she's like, are you stupid? You better take the money. So I sang it right next to a craps table, and then they tackled me and threw me out of there. But yeah, you're gonna have that thing, dude, where it's like that stigma. It's like, that's the red thing, man. And it's, oh man. And this is what always bothers me too, is like people will come in and somebody else will put in Purple Rain or some Prince song, and they'll be up there singing, unbeknownst to them, I'm known for doing it and shit, and why should they know, and who gives a crap? And everybody in the audience would be all, ooh, he's doing your song, man. And I'm like, that's not my song. That's Prince. I didn't write this shit. That's not me.
I wish I made that money,
yeah. So what do we got going on, babe? Anything?
Not much. They put me on a new medication, so I'm just kind of sitting here staring off into space.
Nice. What is your new medication? What the hell are you talking about?
Remember the psychiatrist trip that so I'm just kind of like, I don't know, letting everybody know, hey, I'm going through this if you have questions or whatever. Yeah.
You have things going on in the room, though. I see people talking in there.
A few people said, let's see, Red's a bitch. I'm a crying.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Who said that?
Kelly.
Kelly said, yeah. Okay. She called you a bitch, too. Not a bitch.
I mean, the shoe fits.
And then frickin' Lloyd, who we know as Patrick on St. Patrick's Day, said, Red, do a rap. And then made the little rocker hand. So
those two don't even go together.
I'm just kidding. We're not doing that.
I ain't getting paid for it.
The thing about it is, I wanted to like make this show all about being able to have people display their talents and stuff like that. However, Facebook has demerited me
Right.
every freaking week for just the silliest crap, and I'm pretty sure the show's not going to last because Facebook is going to keep going, oh, something successful, let's shut it down.
And so
Oh,
there's
something
legitimately
successful.
nothing you
Yeah.
can do with it.
So
Sit there twiddling your
I
thumbs and
guarantee I can't have Red on here doing somebody else's material.
Right.
I will instantly get freaking copyright strikes and all this crap. So we can't go there unless we write an original rap song for Red. So
One of these days.
we're gonna end up having to do that. Yeah. So
Come down to Blue Dogs tomorrow night, and I will do a rap.
What's happening at Blue Dogs tomorrow night?
This guy, it's
He says unbeknownst to
Steven Disler, I believe his name is. Really cool guy.
Yeah.
He's bartending at Blue Dogs tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. I can't even
Wow,
do
we're gonna
6-hour
double.
shifts without losing my mind. But
Right.
yeah, they're gonna have. Supposedly, I've been told they're gonna have karaoke with some really cool dude and food and music and
Nice.
pool and
Dancing.
amazing. Yeah.
And cheesecake.
Yeah. And
The
really
cheesecake
good
is a lie,
drinks
by the
and-
way. I don't want people
What?
showing up going cheesecake, no cheesecake. Yeah, so
That's where I'll be.
that's at Blue Dogs tomorrow night. Some guy named Frankie Almost that you may or may not have heard of is
Some guy.
hosting a little dance fiesta thing there. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow night.
Fiesta? Shouldn't it be like an
Yeah.
Irish jig?
Yes, it should, because we're doing the after St. Patty's Day thing. So are you going somewhere tonight? You doing the whole green beer somewhere tonight?
No, you know I don't drink beer.
Yeah. Are you
might-
doing the green Hennessy somewhere?
That sounds amazingly disgusting. I'm probably going to head over to Barcode at some point, which is Eastring's sister bar.
Yeah.
They're doing karaoke from 7 to 9:30 over there. And then they've got comedy after that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to go see Beauty and the Beast again. I haven't seen it enough.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Fucking amazing.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Is this like the live
Yeah.
play?
I may or may not have watched it twice last night.
Disney's been doing that a lot lately, turning everything
Yeah,
into an actual.
I've not
movie.
been a fan of that, as I'm like,
Me either.
leave the classics alone, but this was really well done.
Yeah.
They stuck to the original almost scene for scene, and amazing
Yeah.
lineup of actors.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Oh, Skylar Lee's in the room. What's up, brother? Isn't that my son, Skylar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he said hi, Dad.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
anybody?
what's with not seeing all the same comments?
I don't know. That's another thing with It's funny, dude,
Fight
how
the man.
Facebook can be so like rude to us, and it's like, you don't even have your shit together, bro.
Right.
Why are you giving me crap?
Right.
So anyway, Skylar, if anybody that's known me from back in the Disney when I was a little dude, go look at Skylar's pics and you'll be like, holy crap, that's probably Frankie's son.
Probably.
So we were in a bar one night. He's like half my age. So one day when he figured out how old I was, because he finally I told him, he was like,
74.
right? He's like, oh my god. He's like, you're like my dad, and I'm like, I know, bro. And he's like, so then from then on, we've called each other father and son. So it's pretty funny.
The shoe fits.
Yeah.
I think I totally just broke the camera.
Oh, nice. What'd you do?
I had to stretch my old man decrepit leg,
Oh.
and I think I off-centered it.
Yeah, Red's the youngest guy with arthritis
Yeah, right.
in the world. He's had it since he was like what, 20?
Something close to that,
Yeah.
22 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how big is your archive of music down there?
Oh, okay. I thought we were getting into a whole other situation.
How big is your?
My favorite line that I like to tell
Shamrock.
people. It's definitely a 4-leafed one. That's for
Nice.
sure.
You got some cauliflowering going
Right.
on, do you? You might want to see a doctor about that.
The doctor told me there's no helping me on that. So good luck with that. My favorite line I like to tell people when they are new or they ask for something, because our setup, we can only search by artist or song title. And they'll come in and be like, what rap songs do you have? And I'm like, well, I can't really just be like,
Yeah.
rap.
Pick
But
a genre.
I like to tell people we've got about 140,000 songs, but
Okay.
none of which that you would want to sing. Because I will have people come ask for the most off-the-wall stuff
Always.
that I've never even heard. I had one woman legitimately come in and accuse me of being sexist because we didn't have some all-female punk rock group song. And I'm like, one, I have no control over that. Two, I've never even heard of these people, and I've been in the business for 4 or 5 years now. I'm like, you're just looking for an excuse to go off. And I'm like, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of my stuff we don't have. Like,
Right.
there's stuff I would love to do that
Yeah,
we just
absolutely.
don't have for underground or
here's one that I can never find anywhere. I have it somewhere tucked away, and I don't have it in my actual thing because I don't own the royalties to it. And it's a really basic song, and I'm wondering if you guys have it because no place I've ever worked at has ever had it. Is Mint Condition, Pretty Brown Eyes.
I'll check. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't often get requests for.
Yeah, but it's a dope song, dude.
You know the one that always gets my goat that we don't have?
What gets your goat, sir?
I need you to piss off, all right?
You've been hanging around people much older than you for too long. What gets your goat there, Dad?
Ludacris's What's Your Fantasy?
Huh.
I've never once found that anywhere. Someone came in and told me, they're like, oh yeah, there's a bar in Cali that has that. And I'm like,
all right.
Road trip for one song.
I don't like Luda that much.
Right? I drove out from Vegas just to sing this one song, and now I'm going to go home. But yeah, there's certain artists, you know, like Kanye West, of course, big surprise there.
Yeah.
My bad. Future President Kanye West. That
okay, you must leave now.
Yeah, that's it. The show's over. Broadcast is over.
When he becomes president, dude, I'm going to be like these millennials were about Trump becoming president. I'm going to start kicking in Starbucks and shit.
But, like, a lot of his music, he, like, with the rights and the royalties and everything, like, they just will not let their stuff be made into things. And people get pissed at us
right
when we have no control over that.
Yep.
And then they ask us to YouTube it, which is illegal.
Right.
But,
and which is weird to me because YouTube has commercials on it, which pays for the royalties.
Right.
So what I never understood, and this is what I was going to like pledge to the world at one point, was why don't we just suffer through the commercials and let all the makers of karaoke songs post their music to YouTube and just stream it off of YouTube. That way you're taking care of the royalties right there and everything, and then everything is accessible.
Right.
Every single song that's ever been made for karaoke is accessible. And that would be the dopest thing to me. Like, I don't understand why nobody's jumped on that yet or figured that out yet. It's just always money. It's always money, money, money. But see, here's the thing, though. If you were a distributor of a karaoke track, wouldn't you want your stuff on YouTube? Because you're going to be getting paid for every time it's played. And that's the same thing as, like, radio play. It's like, I don't understand.
Especially if it's a big song that...
Right. So, if you own a karaoke company and are watching this show, put your stuff up on YouTube and let people stream it. You're getting paid for it. You'll probably end up making more that way. Because, I mean, how many karaoke bars are there here in Vegas? Yeah. It's so saturated. There's probably, I would say, 1,000. Enough for us to have a magazine. Yeah. A karaoke magazine.
There's enough that any given night you can go to multiple places. I mean, Eastern has it 7 nights a week alone. I know there's other places that do it a lot. And
Ellis Island is one of those places. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people don't really like Ellis Island, but they have to forgive Ellis Island, too, because Ellis is going through the same shit as everybody else. They have to pay the royalties for the songs, and their archive is small. And it's because upgrading, as you know, is expensive as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody realizes how expensive it is. They think it's all about just ripping a song off the internet and bringing it, and there you go. No, it costs a karaoke dude like $150 just to do a couple of songs.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Because my dad used to go out and buy the CDs, and they were not cheap. And that's a CD of, 10, 12 songs for $30, $40.
What's funny is they used to create the illusion. I think it was DK that was doing this. This is such like nerdy karaoke stuff for you guys. You guys are just like, oh my god. But anyway, there was this maker called DK, and I think it was funny because they used to put like 10 songs on the CD, but then they'd put the same 10 songs on with lyrics for like your training purposes. And so it appears as if you're getting 20 songs when you're not. You're only getting 10. Yeah, it's expensive. So pay your karaoke
like said,
people well.
The equipment alone is not cheap or lightweight.
There's another thing that I wanted to mention aside from telling businesses to pay their karaoke hosts, and that is for people to tip their karaoke hosts. I'm not in the business as much as Red is anymore because I'm like doing other things, but he's seen it. I've seen it. Anybody that's ever worked for me has seen it. It's like it's funny, dude, because they'll go to a bartender, right, and be like, hey, can I get a Corona? And the bartender's like, sure, and takes a bottle cap and goes and freaking opens it up with a bottle opener, and they like typically give them like $1. Right. And I'm like, why aren't you doing that for somebody that's sitting at a board, adjusting your volume for 4 whole minutes? It's like us opening a bottle for 4 minutes, and it's not worth $1.
See, and I've always been of the mindset where my regulars that I love and I enjoy seeing because they make me not want to kill the random people that I hate and want to choke the life out of. I don't mind that they don't tip. You know, my regulars, it's fine because I know them. You know. But when I've got random people coming in and already in my face the minute they come up to me with an attitude and whatnot, and they just talk to me like I'm lower than the jukebox in the bar area, like, and they don't give me a single dollar.
Yeah.
Like,
people are pushy, man, and people suck, dude. And you know the thing about it is, it used to piss me off a lot when I had people like that. There was this guy that used to come to the bar. I'm not going to say his name, but his initials are MT. Remember him? And he used to get freaking mad for like the dumbest shit. And I'd be like, dude, chill out. Number one, there's only 4 people here listening to you.
And they're not even listening to you.
Yeah, and he's a decent singer, dude. I got to give him that.
He is.
And the thing was, I would just be like, dude, man, it's not you know, the end of the world. It's just karaoke.
See, that's what I hate. I hate the people that take it way too serious.
Yeah.
Like, this is not an American Idol audition. You're not performing at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Like,
there's not a secret camera that's going to an AR representative of a record company that's going to be like, that's the guy.
Right. And even if there randomly happen to be somebody in the bar, they're not going to not pick you up because the reverb on your voice isn't too high.
Right. Exactly. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I was gonna give that guy a record contract, except he's singing in a shitty microphone. Well, no crap, he's singing in a shitty bar. What do you expect?
And I mean, obviously, nobody wants to have their system and whatnot behind them sound like shit. But at the same time,
yeah, there's those too, dude. Like, because a lot of bars will hire your random crackhead off the street to run the karaoke, and that can damage your business really bad. Because there are people that don't know how to run sound at all, and it'll really, really kill your business if your
Luckily,
shit's
myself
screaming.
not included, our people at Eastern know what they're doing behind the soundboard and can make you sound good. And I'm just like, here, let's hope this works.
So what nights are you over there at Eastern?
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
So.
Nice. And what times?
9 to 3.
9 to 3 in the morning.
Except for Sundays, it was 11 to 3.
Ah, interesting. Oh, because of the comedy thing. That's right. How's the comedy thing going over there?
It's going.
Is it going?
It's going. It's as good as Double Shot comedy.
Ah, okay.
So,
you know, I'm freaking. This would be my plea to the public the most of all, is like, why aren't people supporting any kind of talent?
See, and I feel
anymore?
Like the biggest problem with these open mics that they have is they don't often get a crowd. So it tends to be the comedians performing to other comedians, so then at that point they don't care and they're not going up on stage giving their A game, and so the 2 or 3 people that are actually in the audience that are not part of the business or whatever, that are there to actually see the show aren't getting what they, which I get. I wouldn't sit there and put my all into 2 people when the other 17 have already heard my stuff 74 times, you know, but I think that's the biggest problem with it, is that nobody goes out to it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I'm like, you're getting a free show.
Yeah, and back in the days, dude, man, this town like was so different, and you missed it because you're too damn young.
Yeah, I know.
You missed when this, and I missed when this town was in its heyday, because that was like back in the freaking 40s and 50s and 60s. Yeah, when they would give you free lobster dinners just for freaking playing craps.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that. The way of that is gone. Vegas is not the same. Your comp now is like a free straw, for your cup that you have to pay for. Yeah,
you gotta. Hey, win a platter set, but you gotta get 100,000 points in one day.
Right.
You get
$75,000, and you get a free plate.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, my mom actually got a lot of free plates.
Right.
For 75,000.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Like, do you realize the amount of plates you could have bought?
And she hung it on the wall too, and like people are like, "Wow, that is the most expensive regular plate I've ever seen."
Why is there a Stations Casino plate on your wall? That plate is worth $75,000. I may have you know.
Exactly. But yeah, so back in the day, man, people would like support things like and go out and see free shows and stuff like. It was typically like there would be a lounge act in a casino that was a full-on band, not just like somebody playing music or whatever, but like an actual band, and they would be playing in the center of the casino for music for all to hear, And the way of that is just gone, dude.
The
It's
small
like
casinos still have that occasionally, but it's nobody
sits down and supports, and it's like, you know, what better to do when you're on vacation than to freaking hang out, sit in the lounge, and have a couple of drinks while you're listening to old stuff like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain and all that crap. And then once you catch a buzz, getting up and going and moving on and venturing from there.
Right.
But nobody even does that anymore. It's like our elders are just as guilty of short attention spans as our young citizens are.
Bitch about it like we do.
Yeah, and so I hate that there's not support for live entertainment
anymore.
Just
it. Any night in Vegas for $20 or less, you can catch hundreds of different shows or performances or anything.
Right.
There's open mic comedy every night of the week at multiple places all over town. There's booked comedy shows at multiple places all over town for little to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe a 2-drink minimum or something like that. There's open mic acoustic nights and whatnot all over. There's, you know, hip-hop performances. There's local bands, and it's, you know, if you're paying $20 for it, I would be surprised. And people don't do that, and I'm like, look at how many free things there are. But yet Ed Sheeran's coming to the T-Mobile, and let's drop $300 on that.
Right.
I mean, it's a ginger anyway. Nobody likes gingers. It's overrated.
So you're quiet over there. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just...
Yeah. And the room got quiet, too, which is weird, because we have a steady
I'm here.
situation of people talking. The last thing that got said was, Disler said you have a tree trunk. I don't mean that. I don't know if that means like chained up in your room, or what. You just carry a tree trunk around, or is that a euphemism for a penis?
Yeah. Disler's accidentally seen pictures that. Don't ever hand someone your phone and expect them not to swipe.
Right. Disler likes to pass around this picture. That's have you seen the one with the spider in the toilet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Disler shows you a picture of a spider that's in a toilet, right? Uh-huh. And if you look at the picture long enough, you realize that there's like this shadow of a freaking big wiener above the toilet. Like it's like looking like it's like that long and that thick kind of thing.
I remember taking that picture.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
They had me come in that day and do it.
That's why.
Yeah. Right. All right. So you see, I get you're so cute.
You're right.
You're so cute.
It's adorable when you make the lies.
Oh man, woe is me. Okay, so the guy that killed himself on live TV. No, just kidding.
Which one? Become a recurring thing. It's kind of fucked up how you can watch people kill themselves on Facebook Live, but you can't post your video.
Have people done that really?
Oh yeah. There was a little girl.
No, I was
herself.
totally kidding. I'm sorry to even have brought that up.
That's a thing. Like, there's been multiple
on Facebook Live.
Yeah,
oh my god,
that group of kids in Chicago that beat the hell out of that.
Oh, that's right.
Kid.
Yeah,
so they can all do that stuff, but you can't share.
I can't share an informative thing that's like joking.
Well, I mean, this one site that I follow, Graveyard Shift, they sent out a article with all of like the people that killed themselves on live TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they pulled it down and they apologized for it. So they did get shit for putting that up.
Yeah, it's freaking awful, dude. I can't talk. I don't like when people capitalize on other people's misery. Right. It's horrible. I mean, other than the fact that we brought you in here and capitalizing off of your misery of being a karaoke host, then it's okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's totally different.
Right. So we are wondering if we're even broadcasting anymore because the room has been frozen for all this time. And I'm telling you, dude, like, I'm going to refresh this and see if it does anything, if that fixes anything, because there's been other times where we've been on the air and the room went silent, and then we looked at the rebroadcast, and there was like hundreds of messages
of comments that we missed
going by, and people were like, well, I'm not going to watch this because I can't talk to them anymore. Let's see.
I mean, my video's still playing, but I haven't seen any.
Yes, you are. Pete Anderson said we are still live. Thank you, Pete Anderson, for saving our lives.
Right. So we're live. It's just nobody wants to talk to us.
No, everybody's just like, you guys suck. There's nothing to talk about. Well, we are talking about karaoke, and not many people that we know are karaoke hosts. You know what's funny, dude? What I always find funny, and it works every single time. We have this friend named Steve Disler, and he's He's
friend.
we use the term friend
Very
loosely. He is not a singer at all, but he always is like, I'm gonna put in a song, and it's always the same song, and it is that stupid song Tequila that Pee Wee Herman danced to in the movies, and so it literally just says one word three times, and that is tequila. And so
I use that as like a little cheat code for people when they come to the bar and they're like, my friends are forcing me to sing, but I really don't want to. And I'm like, I have
the perfect song.
And it works. And then those people that are like, I don't want to do this, I never want to do this, you get them up there for one song and then you can't get them off stage.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That happened to me last night, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm not going to say who it was, but...
It was Jackie.
No. Yeah, no, Jackie never sings, ever.
I've seen her sing
She sung one time at Double Shots that I know of. But that was when somebody else was up there.
She sang the last song at Double Shots.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was already gone by then.
And then, I was long gone by then.
Yeah.
And she sang once at Dino's for her birthday. That was the first time I heard her.
She sang what?
She sang Santeria at
really?
Dino's for her birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, we worked at this bar called Double Shots, right? And the bar was notorious for karaoke, and it was a total like dive bar where everybody knew your name, cheers kind of place, and you could puke in the freaking corner, and somebody that either worked there or was a patron there would come clean it up for you and not judge you, and it was just the greatest place to get sloshed. So this bar closed down like during our actual nights of working. So while we're in there singing, like, this is no kidding, and it was like, I'll be honest, like, it was the coolest memory. Even though it was a very sad memory, it's still one of those things where it's like, this doesn't happen very often. So we're in the bar and we're singing songs and crying and hugging each other because we're like, where are we gonna drink at next? I don't. We acted like we were all going to college and we were never gonna see each other again. And
Vitamin C played in the background. You know?
So we're singing on stage, and they're coming in. They come into the bar, and they're ripping out the gaming machines as we're partying. Was step one, and then step two, they came in and started dismantling the pool tables while we were singing and partying and drinking. And then step three was like at one point we were in there with flashlights and shit because there was no more lights. We lost our main lights, so we're like in there basically at candlelight with music still playing.
Right.
How was that the case? How did the music still work? It was weird though, right? There was no lights.
That's fitting for Double Shots.
Yeah. So and
my favorite was everybody, including myself, walking out with bar stools and all this shit. Finally got my fog machine I wanted for 5 years, and it doesn't even work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it needs one of the switches, like the remote control for it or whatever.
Oh, well, that was plugged into the back. It was still streamed along the back wall.
What the fuck, Frankie?
I'm telling you, dude. It switches there. Go in there.
I'm about to when we're done here.
They've been remodeling the place, so I don't think it even is the same place. Okay, so we went off on a topic that not many people, except for a closed group of people, know. So let's get back on something else. Tell us about anything that you're doing aside from karaoke.
Well, again, not anything that I'm doing, but this past weekend was one of the best weekends of my life.
Okay, that I need to hear.
It was a 3-day wrestling extravaganza with Ring of Honor on Friday and Saturday, which was one of the biggest companies in the world. And
I'm totally like, whoosh.
Yeah,
but I'm listening. I'm listening.
I got the opportunity of a lifetime thanks to one of my friends. I actually got to work the show as like the ring crew, and so I got to like in the beginning of matches when the wrestlers come out, everybody throws streamers at them all, and so my job was to go and grab all the streamers and whatnot.
Cleanup guy.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was I got to be like the best seat in the house, and like literally had wrestlers I've idolized my whole life land like a foot away from me, and you know that was amazing. And just all weekend was great. And Saturday after the show, a bunch of my friends went to the TGI Fridays. It was at Sam's Town, and we went to the Fridays there, and a bunch of the wrestlers were all hanging out, drinking and whatnot. And so it's like it was amazing. And there's actually a couple wrestling shows coming up that I look forward to.
Didn't you just recently see a concert?
Oh yeah.
What was that? What was that?
It wasn't much. It was just, the Backstreet Boys, best band ever. And if you disagree, I will hurt you. I will hunt you down and I will hurt you.
Oh, Jesus, like that. He's already busting caps in the studio. Jesus, man.
Throwing shit. But, yeah, it was actually my 4th time seeing them, and I was very hesitant, honestly, because the last time I saw them was at the Miss America pageant, and you could tell they're starting to age, and they couldn't really hit the notes they used to be able to hit, and it was very disappointing.
I don't know why that's happening to them. I'm
right.
older than they are,
Yeah,
and I can still hit the notes. Yeah.
Well, one of them actually ended up having something wrong with his vocal cords to the point where he had to stop for a while. Or
do you think it might have been he might have damaged his throat?
I know for sure that's not what it is. He's a good little Christian boy. All right. At least none of them are dead in an elevator.
Easy target.
But it was actually, I was very impressed. It was probably their best show I've seen so far of the 4, and I was very, very impressed and thankful that it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. So
they should be around for longer, dude. So don't get the feeling. Really don't get the feeling that you're seeing. It was good to see them before they go. There's people that actually live until their 80s. Yeah, I know that's hard to believe after last year.
Yeah,
but
right. Well, I mean, half of those people were up there in age, so it's not really a surprise.
Dude, but like, okay. So,
oh my God, not Betty White, who's 95 years old. Let's keep her until she's 130.
There was Prince that was only 57.
Right.
And that's freaking young as shit.
There were a lot of young ones.
And then there was somebody else that was in there freaking... Oh, 2 people that I actually know. I had a friend, Mike Chalinas, who was a weatherman here in Vegas, and he passed away at 57 also in July.
I think I saw you.
And then my friend, our friend, Matt Tamboris, passed away, and he was only 39.
Right.
And man, it was such a bad year.
It was very shocking.
That year was really like scary to me because people were like dropping around me. Yeah,
I legitimately thought it was a very slow. What is it? Rapture.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
starting off.
I actually wondered the same thing myself.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if God's just taking them.
Yeah, taking the good ones here and there,
one at a time.
Yeah.
Only the good
and then I was like,
young.
why am I left here?
You're right.
Where am I going?
I'm ready here.
What have I done?
I'll strip out for you.
Oh, man. So
yeah, it was literally to the point where I think it was Sports Illustrated or whatever was able to come out with an entire magazine just off of athletes that died last year. So I'm like, every month there was 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Couldn't. Ooh, Jesus
Christ. Live TV. I love it.
You couldn't, I still haven't gotten over Alan Rickman. Stop doing
Meanwhile, as all this is going on, Dissler's telling my wife to take off her shirt.
He said, just ale it off is what he first said.
Because he can't type. It's hard to type with one hand, Jessica, that's why. Just ale it off.
I mean, it is really hot in here.
It is hot in here.
I thought it was just me,
what I was trying to tell everybody is we usually blast this room.
Right, it was cold when I got in here.
Our walls are made of foam, all 4 walls.
It's insulated. There's 3 people in here. There's a whole bunch of machines.
Plus,
and lights.
I'm super hot.
Tell them, yeah.
And plus, you're smoking hot. So.
Right? So, obviously,
But yeah, I never even got over Alan Rickman's death, much less everybody that came later in the year.
Right?
And we didn't have enough time.
He was in the beginning of the year, right?
January, February, yeah.
Yeah, it was such a horrible year. We've lost some people here in 2017, but it's nothing like it was in 2016.
They were spaced out like they normally are, not every other day.
And they were older.
There were multiples
in
days.
Friends of mine. It wasn't friends of mine.
Yeah,
Thank
I lost
God.
my best friend last year.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, her ex-husband, killed himself. And I'm like, wow, what is going on?
She hasn't experienced death aside from her mother, and it's weird how it happens like that in life. Once somebody dies, then your whole world is in shambles, and you start realizing that everybody
can die. Nobody is exempt from it, so you could lose anybody.
I was fortunate enough to go a long time without anybody dying. I had one friend die in a horrific car accident back in the 80s, named Lori Carmen, and she was friends of my sister, but I'd lost touch with her and hadn't seen her in a long time. But that was the first person that I knew that ever died.
Right.
And then after that, I went a really long time. And then in 2005, people that I started knowing that were really young were dying. My friend John Davis died of liver cancer at the age of 33. My friend Shane Jones freaking died of some kind of, I don't even know what it was, but it involved drugs, but I don't know if it was an OD or whatever, but he was only 34. Right. And people were just dropping. My uncle died of lung cancer the same year. I mean, it just on and on and on and on. So I guess we have the luck of the Irish that we're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we all are Irish here, right? You have Irish in you, right? Yeah. Well, you do from time to time. Oh, God. Silly people. Why do we even have... No wonder Facebook is trying to shut us down.
Right. Speaking of friends of yours that are news people, have you seen any of Doria's interviews or anything that he does?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
The most amazing thing ever.
I love Doria, dude.
I'm like, I don't know how he gets away with half of the stuff he says or whatever, but I love it. Like,
as you know,
why I started watching.
As you know, Mike Doria is one of my favorite people to party with ever.
He's amazing.
And I don't want to say, nope, we've never done that. Sorry, I forgot. I don't know how straight-laced you're supposed to be on as a television character. Are you allowed to even say that you party with people like Frankie?
I know
almost?
quite a few people that come to East Ring that are...
Because me and him have had...
Same news station, actually.
I mean, quite honestly, like, he's one of my favorite people to drink with. Because he just doesn't care.
Right.
Yeah, and I just love it.
Him over at Double Shots whenever, like, somebody would get up and sing, and he'd be like...
Yeah. It's funny, dude. He worked for Fox 5 a few years back, and then he didn't work there for a while, and then he started writing for Us Weekly or something like that.
Okay.
Because he's got journalism degrees and stuff. So then he ended up getting, and thank you Fox 5 for hiring Mike Doria back, because dude, you made a great decision.
One of the biggest reasons why I watch them now.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Channel 8, and it's just not what it used to be, and so I now watch Fox. Like, I know a couple people that work for Fox that I love, and like I said, just to watch him do his interviews and whatnot is just amazing. And
how me and Mike Doria met was my friend Jay, Crazy Jay. He does this show called the Rockin' Comedy Show, which is a podcast that's twice as big and good as this one is. And
so there's 4 people in there.
Right. And he's been doing it for a freaking long time. And so he had Mike Doria doing stuff with him. And so through a mutual friend who was being Crazy Jay.
Was that the one you got that interview for, or was that a different? No, that was yours and Mike's thing that you were doing.
When I got to meet,
you interviewed somebody, some chick, and
it was the chick.
You deleted it. God. And then luckily I was able to find it.
Dude, okay, can I just tell you about that night? Oh my God. So it was the VM10 Awards. It was the Vegas Magazine 10th anniversary. And what is her name? The chick from frickin' Hangover movies. The hot blonde that was Roller Girl. What's her name? I forgot her name. License to Drive. She played Roller Girl in that movie Boogie Nights. Anyway. Everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Oh, Heather Graham.
Heather Graham.
There we go.
And she was on the cover of the VM10 Awards. And so Mike Doria got me to go in there and interview her. He was interviewing her for something, and then I was interviewing her for another thing. And I shit you not, I'm sorry, babe, but this is a true story. Doria can back me up. So as I'm interviewing her, she was like answering the typical things in line.
Right.
And she looked up and she kicked her eyebrow up at me. And I was like, and she just put me in this trance, and I'm like, hi. And so, like, the whole rest of the night, I keep telling Doria, I was like, Heather Graham's checking me out, bro. And he's like, she's not checking you out. And I'm like, Doria. And I'm like, she's freaking checking me out. I'm telling you, I'm freaking telling you. And he's like, okay, settle down. So then this thing happened where the recorder that I had, it looked as if I hadn't recorded our interview at all. And freaking Doria's like, are you kidding me, dude? And I was like, no. And he goes, okay, well, she was sitting in this like little private section where nobody could get to her. And she had this publicist with her who was, oh God, this girl was awful. I can understand why she was her publicist, because she was one of those evil chicks that was like, no, and all this kind of crap, you know? So Doria walks up and politely asked, hey, my friend Frankie didn't actually record the interview. Is it okay if he records it again? And the publicist that she was with was like, no, he had his opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And Heather Graham goes, he's standing right there. And she pointed to me and she went like this. And frickin' I went and I interviewed her again. And I was at her knee as if I was like I'm not saying this in any weird way, okay? But she was sitting down and I was on my knees recording her as if like in the position when you're proposing to somebody kind of thing. So I'm like holding up the recording device and I'm recording her. And frickin' after it's all said and done, freaking I get up and Doria goes, Okay, she's checking you out.
Yeah.
She's checking you out. And I was like,
remember that.
Nailed it.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my boy Dory. I love that guy, man. I haven't seen him in a long time.
I know.
Yeah. I'm sure his party days are coming to a close because of the news and all that stuff. And so, yeah. But we miss you, Doria. I miss Crazy J too. I got to have Crazy J on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were on Crazy J's show. You don't know who Crazy J is from the Rock and Comedy Show? Yeah. We're definitely gonna plug him and bring him in here and freaking all this crap. Sounds nasty, doesn't it? We're gonna bring you in here and plug you.
I wouldn't expect any different from you.
You played golf with her, dude? Pete Anderson says he played golf with her. I'm assuming that you're talking about Heather Graham.
He was talking about me.
Yeah. Are you reading The Room anymore, babe?
Yeah, these actually just came up.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, and thank God Roxanne's in the room because Roxanne comes in all the time and supports the show. We got to have Roxanne on the show, too, because I think Roxanne has been the most familiar face on the show since we've started.
Yeah.
So, and I was talking to Daniel Murray about the show last night, right? Mm-hmm. And he openly told me, he's like, dude, I really like the show. And I'm like, that's cool. And he's like, how do you decide what you're going to talk about? And I said, we don't.
We don't.
And that's why it makes it natural, because it's just like us talking about, well, I said, we tried a couple of times making an outline, and it didn't end up working. It was stiff and whatnot. So we don't have a script of any kind. We just start talking. And that's why sometimes it will fumble or come to a slow start or whatever like that. But I still like the continuity of it. So, but anyway, so we were talking about it, and he's like, dude, I really like the show. And I was like, well, why don't you come on the show? And he's like, well, I don't have anything worthy of talking about on the show. Like, I'm not. And I was like, dude, that's what this show's about, man. This show is about, it was based off of like what I was talking about on a prior episode. This show is based off of my 15 minutes show that I was pitching to Vegas TV. And that is, we want regular people to be able to get the moment in the spotlight. Why not? You know, I think that it's healing for people, because a lot of times people go through life feeling like nobody cares, nobody pays attention to them, and all that crap. It's like, dude, I'm the type of dude that, like, I'll have the school janitor on here. You know what I mean? Because they've got stories to tell, and their lives are worth hearing about.
You never know what story somebody could have just by looking at them. You're like, oh, that person doesn't.
So I think the thing is, what's funny is because Dan said to me, he said, you know, eventually you're probably going to get to the position where you can have celebrities on the show, and that's all fine and everything, and I'm not going to exactly turn that away, but I don't want this show to be about that. If it ever blew up, I don't want it to be like, we've got Will Smith in here again. It's like, everybody knows what the hell this dude's doing, you know. I want stupid people in here like Red.
Hey, that's another thing I got to tell my lawyer about. Jesus, Frankie.
Oh man. So yes, love you, Roxanne. You need to come in here. Hey, Roxanne, real quick before we sign off, which is in like 10 short minutes. Do you still live in Vegas? And if so, are you still living in the house that I came to a couple of times when we worked at that bar on Decatur that I can't think of? Norma Jean's. Are you still living in that area or in Vegas at all? And what is Dissler saying?
He said
you did have a celebrity. Gee,
yeah, Jeremy Flores.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, let me guess who Dissler is gonna say is the celebrity.
Jeremy Flores. He's been on a billboard.
Right now, Dissler is freaking smashing his phone.
I feel like although they're best friends, they're like mortal enemies at the same time.
Right? You got to keep your enemies close, kind of thing. Yeah. Let me tell you from experience, and you can actually vouch for this too. You know when Dissler hates / loves you because he makes you put on Mojave Max costumes and shit.
See, I luckily never had the Mojave Max, but I had a 30-minute makeup session for the Cowardly Lion.
You were the Cowardly Lion? Where was that at?
It was some school's thing that they were doing. I don't even remember where, but it literally, I had to sit for like 30 minutes getting makeup.
Why? You're halfway there right now.
I know, right?
You're an orange hairy guy.
I had this much beard at that point. I think I only had like the goatee. That was back before I really grew a full-on thing. But
okay. It was before you could grow hair.
Before I was a man. Yeah, basically.
Last year.
It was actually like 2 months ago. But
right.
yeah,
man.
I've done that. I've been Woody.
I've had Woodies.
When Distler's around, who doesn't?
It's been a long time since I've had a Woody because I'm getting old and everything, but...
I don't have that same problem.
No? Oh, because you're not...
catch a breeze.
You're like half my age.
Yeah,
Once you get there, you'll see what it's like.
I feel like 26 is definitely like a third of your age, but...
Whatever. Same thing. Yeah, so that's the one costume that I've never been in was the Woody costume. I'll tell you the funniest... I don't know why we didn't talk about this, Disler. Yeah, Roxanne still lives in the home. Okay, cool. Disler, this is what's funny, dude. When you were in here, why the hell didn't we talk about the SpongeBob episode? Dude, listen to this. So... it's it's a typical scenario. I'm sitting there laying in bed, and Disler's like, "Hey, hiring his friends. Thank you for doing that, by the way." And being like, "Hey, man, you need an extra such and such amount of dollars. Come be SpongeBob or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, strapped for cash." And so I'm just like, "Sure, dude, I'll come do it." So he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna be SpongeBob," and I'd never been SpongeBob before, right? And it was just gonna be another costume to me, which, for those of you that don't know, putting on one of those, like being Mighty Mouse or Mickey Mouse or whatever the hell, is kind of a claustrophobic experience. But luckily, I actually deal with claustrophobia pretty good, but it is stifling and scary. And for the first couple of minutes you're in the costume, you're like, I'm going to collapse and die. Like, I literally feel that way every single time. And then I'm like, I get adjusted, and then I'm like, okay, no, I'm good. Concentrate on my breathing and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So we're standing in the parking lot, and there's freaking, it's like an Easter event, and there's hundreds of kids at the park waiting for SpongeBob to get there. And so we're out by the car, hidden, tucked away, so nobody can see that this ugly man's getting into a freaking SpongeBob costume. So the SpongeBob, because he's a square pants kind of sponge guy, is a square that's only like this thick, and it's like a box basically.
Right.
And as Disler's holding it up for me to go into, I freaking freak, and I'm like, dude, I will give you your money back. I can't do this. I can't do it. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I freaking freaked out. And he's like, hold on, calm down. And I was like, Disler, I will give you your money back. I don't want the money. I can't get in that freaking costume.
Right.
I'm going to freak out. I'm going to freak out, man. And so he's like, dude, just relax. Take a couple of breaths. We'll put it on. If you don't like it, we'll take it off. And as soon as I got in the thing, I was like, okay, I could do this.
Right.
I could do this. But
I'll never be Buzz Lightyear if he ever offers that.
Why? Oh, because Jeremy's nuts?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, our friend Jeremy Flores was Buzz Lightyear and didn't see the Jeremy Flores episode. So our friend Jeremy Flores was Buzz Lightyear at a party, and a kid ran what he said was Mach 5 straight into his nuts with his head. And freaking, it hit him in the nuts so bad that he ended up puking. So that's bad.
Yeah.
I've been hit in the nuts, but it's never made me puke.
Mean, obviously, Disler cleans those things. Right. But still.
Yeah.
The remnants of Jeremy's puke.
So, Disler, let me ask you this question since I got you in here and on the spot and everything. Are you going to be having food there tonight, or what are we doing?
Tonight or tomorrow?
I'm sorry, at Blue Dog's tomorrow night. That's right. Yeah. I forgot. Today's St. Patty's Day. Yeah. So tomorrow night, are we doing food? What are we doing? What can people expect? You can post it in the room, and we can plug the show there. And your next night, Red, is Sunday night, and that's at 11, right?
Yeah.
Are Sundays usually busy? What's your busiest night?
They're hit or miss.
Yeah.
Mondays tend to be busy, but they tend to be the most aggravating as well.
Mondays, really?
Because of that, yeah.
Interesting.
But they're hit or miss, really. Like, I'll come in one night and 30 people, and I'll come in that same night a week later, and there's 2.
Yeah.
So I can never judge anymore.
You know what's horrible is because when Jess and I started the show, we knew that we were going to start interviewing people that we knew because we want to make this show about the community.
Nobody would watch it if it was just you two.
Yeah, and not only that, but yeah, it is true. Nobody was going to watch us talking all the time. So, you have to have variety and stuff. But we know we're all about helping our community and being freaking, good to our friends and shit like that. So we were going to come in into your work and videotape you and other people doing performances and stuff. But as you know, we ran into the legalities of what happens on this Facebook Live feed. And it's like we're very limited on what we can do. So we're trying the best with what we have to entertain people. But thanks to people like you and stuff coming in and making it more entertaining than Jess and I sitting here talking about quantum theory and stupid shit.
You sitting there talking and her zoning out.
Yeah, her zoning out. But nobody minds her zoning out because they're just like typing one-handed anyway, like Disler right now. What did he say? You can freaking flail it off or something? Like what?
Yeah, let me.
Freaking flail it off.
I got out of it so that I could
refresh
it.
Yes, we're having food. He's buying the first 30 shots for ladies, drink specials, free pool, and you and I, meaning Disler and myself, Frankie, almost.
Oh, so you had me until the you and I part.
Yeah. Right. Are you gonna come tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know
cool.
when, but I'll be there.
Yeah.
How late are you going?
It always depends, just like it does with anything. If it closes down early, then I'll close down early. But if it stays open until 5, dude, if it stays open until 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, I'll stay there because I'm not doing anything anyway.
I'll probably be around like 11 or midnight.
Yeah.
So that's when the real party's gonna start. So
yeah, not this Thursday that just happened, meaning last night, but the week before. That's when you came to Noreen's Lounge, and we left at daylight.
Right.
What time was it? Like 7 in the morning.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that late, but it was probably closer to like 5 or 6.
Yeah. So I'm always down to do that. So okay, cool, Disler. I'm glad, man.
I get a free
shot for Red. Free shot in the mouth.
I mean, I figured that, but I didn't think it was gonna be that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. What else do we got going on here, babe? Do you have anything that you want to say?
Other than the fact that I'm melting.
You're right.
I think we're all melting. I'm starting to get like pit sweat stains.
It's bad in here.
It's bad.
It's like an oven.
I mean,
cooking, but without any of like the nice tanning effects.
Okay. Man. It is so hard to keep the pace of this show going.
But I don't want you to lose all your viewers and go off on a...
You could tell me after we run the thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, for those of you that don't know, which has been a saying that I've said a lot on the show, but it's true. I need people to know things. Yeah. We have a GoFundMe account set up, and my friend Denise Pankurak, that I've known since I was a little kid, donated $20, and we want to thank you very much for that, Denise. We love you, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
And my friend Jason Herrera today, who I've known since I was a little kid, donated $50. And Jason, dude, man, it's so weird that you did that because I seriously, in the past 20 years, have not dreamt about your brother Ken, and I dreamed he was in my dream last night. We were doing some really naughty things. Me and
that
Ken,
was my job.
Me and Ken, we were like in a mall, and we were doing some stuff like breakdancing or whatever the hell we used to do back in the day. And then I wake up and freaking his brother donates money to the show. It's like so bizarre, so weird. But Jason, man, thank you for. I really wanted to pay special attention to Jason because I am telling you, like, I know you guys don't know who I'm talking about. You guys have never met him, but I'll show you his Facebook. Since I've been doing this entertainment thing since I was a kid, he is like one of the main people that has always purchased whatever the hell I was buying, always donated money, and always supported me. And dude, I love you for that, and thank you. And I still have your class pin. You know, you guys are like, what?
Right?
When it came time for us to graduate high school, we were in the same grade. I didn't graduate, and so
class of 74,
right? Class of 62. What's up?
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, man, and I was like, dude, I should have stuck it out, man, and I didn't, and I feel like a total loser. And he's like, well, here, bro, and he pinned his little freaking graduation pin to my freaking shirt. And I was like, that is the dopest shit. And I still have it, dude. That
sounds like the ending to a Brat Pack movie.
Yeah. Or a stupid podcast.
Yeah, that too.
But yeah, dude. So thank you guys for all your support. We totally appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much.
And we do have a... wait, what are we talking here? I saw chicken fingers, and instantly my fat ass is ready for whatever Disler's talking about. Free shot for Red, too, and he said maybe chicken fingers for him, too.
Oh, snaps.
Oh,
damn. Ass chicken fingers over there.
Yeah.
Ooh, with that special sauce.
You've never experienced anything in life until you've been fingered by a chicken.
I feel like that's true. To whatever extent that goes, I feel like that's true. But I feel like that's something I could live without.
Oh, man. We got to get the hell out of here. So,
Real quick, I just want to.
Yes, you may do whatever the hell you want, sir.
Like I said, I'm not obviously in the wrestling, but I do want to plug some of their shows.
Yes.
Because I like people and whatnot.
Do that.
March 26th at 3 p.m. at the Las Vegas roller hockey rink thing, whatever, over off of Sahara in Maryland by the Green Door and whatnot. They've Big Valley Wrestling is putting on their Madhouse show, and it's that's definitely worth checking out. And then Friday, March 31st at the Silverton Casino, Future Stars of Wrestling is putting on their Collision course, which will be great, especially seeing as how this past Sunday's show went down. If any of you were there for that, you know what I mean. And then April 29th, a little ways out, but definitely worth the wait, is Freak Show Wrestling, which I have to get you guys to go to one of these days, because it's not your typical wrestling. It's the most asinine, ridiculous
I like
thing
asinine.
ever. Like, the first time I ever heard of them was on TMZ, and it was a match between Sage Sin and the Ghost of Whitney Houston. So it's that kind of a show. Like,
okay, I'm down with that.
It's absolutely amazing. It's 21 and older because it's at a bar, and when you go to it, you will understand why kids are not allowed. But it is absolutely amazing. So that is April 29th at Fremont Country Club, right down on Fremont, next to Backstage Bar and Billiards or whatever it's called, Triple B's. But yeah, so some great shows coming up, and then my karaoke Sunday through Tuesday at East String, and every night there is amazing. So come check that out. And then Saturday at Blue Dogs.
Nice. Awesome. Jess?
Yes?
Do you have anything you want to say to the people before we bounce up out of this mofo?
Other than have a safe St. Patrick's Day? Not really.
Yeah. And be careful drinking green beer.
Yeah.
Have one for novelty purposes, but green dye is just not something you should be putting into your system.
Yeah.
Especially in large, copious amounts.
Right. Right.
I mean, beer is
Beer's fine, just not the dye.
No, stick to Hennessy. Stick Hennessy and brandy.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it, and don't forget to
GoFundMe.
All this stuff, and like our thing and share our broadcast, because we're limited on who we can share it to because we're being penalized for our show. So we love you guys, and we will see you on Tuesday. Happy St. Patty's Day. Thank you so much for being here, Red. We appreciate it.